Are the Clemson Tigers underrated heading into the 2023 season? How will a key mentality change make this team better? Plus, I'm going to tell you about an up-and-comer on the Clemson offense heading into the season, and what are the Tigers football team working on this week? All of that here on the Sunday Reset. Welcome to Sunday Reset, where I recap everything that happened last week and get you ready for this week. I'm your host, Brad Sinkoff, executive editor over at allclemsontigers.com. Before I talk about the Tigers and where they're ranked right now in the AP preseason poll, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let's dive into it. The Tigers enter the season ranked number 9 in the poll. And I did a YouTube short earlier in the week where I listed teams that I have ahead of Clemson. You can go check that out. Now, that being said, I understand why Clemson is ranked number 9. I get there's some folks out there that aren't buying and believing this team. They're coming off a season where they lost 3 games, including to their rival South Carolina, and their bowl game. And they've got a new offensive coordinator. Cade Klubnik takes over at quarterback. There's some newness, there's some change, and maybe it just not come with how that's going to all go down. I totally get that. But I think it's gotten to the point now with that ranking that came out and with all the hype that's surrounding Florida State and some of the other teams nationally, Clemson might actually be underrated, which is crazy to say. You're used to seeing this team in the top 3, in the top 5, in the country, in the preseason, and being number 9 and missing the playoff the last 2 years, it almost feels like there is that sense that maybe they are underrated. The defense is loaded, folks. It's bringing back so many star players. They got everything they need at defensive tackle. They're going to be really talented in the middle of the field with Barrett Carter and Jeremiah Trotter at linebacker, and an incredibly experienced secondary behind those guys. So you really got to think that that defense is going to come back motivated to show that last year was the dip that they had was just a little bit of an aberration, and they want to get back on top. And then offensively, man, I am buying Garrett Riley. I think this guy is going to absolutely crush it at Clemson. He's going to need to get a lot of help from the offensive line. He's got to turn receivers into playmakers, and he's got to get a lot of consistent play out of Cade Klubnik. But this guy's system works. This team did rank 48th in the country last year in total offense, 99th the year before. Maybe you don't want to buy into it, but I think this is a team right now that people are sleeping on. Before I let you know what Cade Klubnik's got going on in terms of mentality change with this team, please check out Monday Live with Jason Priester on tomorrow, 7 p.m., right here on YouTube. Jason answers all your questions, recruiting, getting you ready for the season. It's where you become part of the show. It's Monday Live with Jason Priester. So Dabo Swinney made some interesting comparisons this week. He was talking about Cade Klubnik and Deshaun Watson and how Klubnik's a lot like Watson in that he can just simply move on from a mistake. It's not something that holds him back or something that maybe snowballs. That is very key to me. Not the comparison part, but the fact that Dabo Swinney sees that trait in Klubnik coming off of 2 years with DJ Uyunglele at quarterback, where it was the opposite. It felt like every time there was a stall drive, an interception, a bad moment, there was going to be another after. And it was a snowball effect. And there was almost a sense of there was no belief in what they were doing. And that it wasn't going to get better as the game went along. The change with Cade Klubnik and his ability to get over mistakes, and trust me, he's going to make a lot of them. He's a sophomore quarterback. They're going to happen. But if he can find a way to convince the team that he can make the play after, keep everything on track, and go put up points and win games, then that's going to give this offense a belief and confidence that I think it has tremendously lacked over the last 2 seasons.
He may throw a pick, but he's coming right back. He's just got the right mentality, and I love that about him. But he loves ball, he loves practice, he loves meetings, and he's just got this energy that kind of lifts everybody. So he's been really, really, really good. He's a key to us. I mean, he stays healthy, we've got a chance to be a good football team.
Who's blowing up at fall camp this year? Well, it's none other than Tyler Brown, the freshman wide receiver, making a name for himself. A lot of people are talking about what he's doing on the field and how he's handled himself in practice.
Tyler Brown, He's very good, very fast. He's got good technique. He knows how to get in and out of breaks, so he's going to be a great player for sure.
You know, that speed is really key. This is an offense that has lacked playmakers the last couple of years. They've not been able to make the short pass, the quick play, and then turning it into a big play after, or simply just hitting deep balls down the field. So Tyler Brown is going to be a very valuable asset if he continues to improve, continues to pick up on the offense, and get where he needs to be. They need elite speed out there. It sounds like he's got it. I could see him making a difference in special teams, maybe relieving Will Shipley on kickoffs a little bit, helping out on punt returns. However you got to get this guy the ball, I think Clemson's going to do it. I expect to see him get some reps early in the season, especially if he's built up enough faith with his coaching staff. But as the year goes along, I think there'll be packages for him. I think Clemson will come up with ways to get him involved in the offense more and more if he has that explosiveness that the players and coaches are talking about. Because if there's one thing Clemson needs badly in this offense, it's the big play. Tyler Brown rocketing up the fall camp conversations. This is a guy to keep an eye on this fall. Before I tell you what's going on with Clemson football this week, I'm going to remind you that we're going to be out at Alumni Hall coming up on Wednesday, 6 p.m. It's our live show. It's the big preview show of the season. Come by and hang out with us. Free swag. Yes, I said free. Who doesn't love free? We're going to have that for you. Make sure you stop by and see us in downtown Clemson at Alumni Hall and catch the show live here on YouTube as well. It's going to be a big week for Clemson's team. They have now progressed beyond the scrimmages. They've gone through the doldrums of fall camp. And now it's time to start doing the opponent prep. And the Duke Blue Devils are on the docket week 1, Monday night, Labor Day in Durham. And what's Clemson going to be getting ready for this week? Well, their defense is going to be preparing for Riley Leonard. Yes, the talented quarterback for the Blue Devils, a guy who's a true dual threat. He threw for nearly 3,000 yards last season, 20 touchdown passes, and he rushed the ball for 699 yards. That's one more than Drake May from North Carolina had. So he's a true dual threat guy that Clemson's got to be very careful with in this game. And the things that Duke likes to do, it's the run-pass options. It's the zone reads. It's multiple formations, moving guys around, a lot of movement before the snap to try to get guys open and scheme them in space. And so the key word this week for Clemson is going to be discipline on the defensive side of the ball, understanding your assignment, not trying to do too much, going with what you're coached up to do. And you really got to focus on that with Riley Leonard because he does a really good job making defenses look silly with the way that he can extend plays. And if that zone read gets going, this can be a tough team. So pay attention to that and how much the defense focuses on that heading into Duke prep. And then on the other side of the ball, you know, the key for Duke in this game and for Mike Elko, their head coach, who's one of the greatest minds, I think, in the country on the defensive side of the ball, he is going to want to confuse Cade Klubnik. So the Tigers are going to be working on seeing multiple looks, seeing a defense show you one thing, and as soon as the ball is snapped, going to something else. Duke likes to run a lot of cover 3. They're going to have their safeties back. They're going to disguise it, though. They're going to mix in some man coverage, but they're going to show you cover 2s, and then as soon as the ball is snapped, they're going to drop back into different coverages. Take advantage of the young quarterback and try to make him make a mistake. The Blue Devils make it a turnover, and then all the momentum goes to their side. So that's what Clemson's offense is going to be doing here is the early part of opponent prep. This is going to wrap up the All Clemson Tigers Sunday Reset. Make sure you go and follow us on all our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're going to be having a lot of new content coming out this fall. Get on board with us now and go to allclemsontigers.com for all the news, all the latest with the Tigers. We've got it for you, allclemsontigers.com. I'm Brad Sinkoff. Have a great week. We'll see you at Alumni Hall on Wednesday.